Hello there. My name is Onjohi Rodney Minor. I am applying to be a facilitator in the National Conference 2024-25. Um, I have started applying right now, and I am seeing the instructions be creative, and I am like, do I have any creativity given that sunlight is ending in a few minutes? But let me just go on. I believe that the things that I will say will be able to convince you that I am good enough to be a facilitator of this conference. So I think the topic that I am very passionate about is the youth and the things that young people should be doing to make their lives better. I believe in something called being the one's future self right now, meaning people should stop living life based on the realities that they have right now, and they should start seeing themselves in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and start living to the level of their future self. They need to make decisions based on what their future self would actually do. So I have read an essay called How to Do Great Work by Paul Graham, and it gave me motivation, or like at least inspiration for what I am going to speak about in this space. So Paul Graham says that for you to do great work, you need to do a lot of small things. You need to start doing a lot of small things. And he says that most of the biggest ideas started from small ideas. It started through a chit chat, through a random conversation, through a random thought, just something small. Like, it wasn't really something that people paid attention to. It was something that started small, but over time, as different iterations came into play, different versions of the same thing came into play, it started becoming a much larger thing. I don't want to say object, but it became a larger concept than what was at the beginning. At the beginning, it was something small, but eventually it became something which maybe cannot even be described in 5 minutes. So he was saying that when it comes to doing great things, you need to learn how to start small things. You need to start a lot of small things. And the issue about starting a lot of small things is that a lot of things will fail. And he says the way to make sure that you succeed at or to scale those small things is by making successful versions. So for example, if you learn how to make notebooks like Michel Mutevu, make the first notebook, then make the second notebook, then make the third notebook. Like small things, but eventually, as you make more iterations or more versions of the same thing, you find yourself making something worthwhile, something that is worth recommendation, like commendation. So the other thing that I would like to speak about is planning. So when people are about to start things, they usually have a lot of thoughts in their mind. They usually over exaggerate the task that is ahead of them. Paul Graham argues that one doesn't need to plan for them to do great things. And this is his argument, that when you're planning, it is best, when you plan, you'll tell yourself, I will go from X to Y to Z. But when you just start, you say, I will go from X and I will go whichever part that life leads me. And he's saying that the best time to plan is when, number one, you have mediums or media that you can't control, and number two, if you have a large like the result is dependent on other people. So that's the only time that you can plan. But otherwise, if it comes to starting great things, you need to start immediately. Like, just start without even knowing where you're going. Start that podcast, start that YouTube channel, start that thing, whatever. Then he says that the advantages of youth are energy, optimism, time, and freedom. And then he says that young people have advantages, but they don't know about their advantages. And the greatest the most important advantage, or like the most potent advantage that young people have, is time. And he now tells us, how does one get to spend time well? Like, how does one fully maximize their time? He says that one needs to spend time in doing frivolous things, like in frivolous ways, doing things, let me read it exactly, learning things that they don't think that they need, doing things that they don't think that they need to do, things like AIESEC. They don't actually know how AIESEC is going to help them, but they need to do it. He says that that there's a difference, like, you shouldn't waste your time, but there's a difference between spending time on something that you worry might not actually mean anything in future than and also there's spending time on things that you know for sure will be a waste of time in the future. He says that the best bet you should make with your time is spend time on things that you know, like you're not really sure, but you have like a feeling that, hey, this thing, even though I'm not sure exactly how it's going to help me, it's going to help me one day. That is how you spend your time as a young person. That is something I'm really, really passionate about. I don't know if like the fashion is coming out because because I am freaking out. But yeah, I'm very happy about this. And hey, I wish you saw me when I was reading this essay. I was cussing the whole time because it was so amazing. Like, and that is something I'm really, really passionate about, hearing young people grow. And I really hope you enjoy this video and you enjoy me being your facilitator if I actually get this opportunity. So yeah, thank you for this. Thank you for listening. Have a lovely day or night.